Hi friends, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Bethany, and on this channel we talk about the false beliefs taught to women inside the church. So if that is something that resonates with you, please be sure to like this video, subscribe if you would love to, and be sure to hit that little notification bell so you'll be notified every single time that I drop a new video. And also come follow me on Instagram right over here and sign up for the Outspoken Exfundie Newsletter where you will receive, oh my god, where you will receive videos 12 to 24 hours early before they go public. Today, we have a reaction video of Paulandmorgan talking about Hocus Pocus. Let's get into it. They actually recorded this video today, so I'm very excited to dive in. I've been wanting to watch it ever since I saw it being streamed, but I was like, man, I know what I'm going to react to this evening because I figured it would be fun if we saw it for the first time together. So, here we go.
What's up, guys? I'm Paul. Today's video, we are talking about Hocus Pocus 2. I'm going to be running down what is this film. If you haven't heard, if you're kind of under a rock, it's been making waves. One, because it's the sequel to Hocus Pocus 1, which really made the rounds when I was a kid. It was a big film. I don't think I was allowed to watch it, but I'm pretty sure I went over to my cousin's house. Like some of you guys growing up in homeschool Christian families, you went over to your cousin's or your friend's house and you watched some of it. That's kind of my story. But the second one, it's out on Disney Plus, and there was a Texas mom that went viral for making a Facebook post where she really went after the film, warning parents, do not let your kids watch it. We're going to talk about all of this. We're going to talk about the
dumbest thing I have ever seen in my life. It was, if you don't know, I have something right on my hand. If you don't know, there was like you just said, a Texas mom. She made this huge post about how Hocus Pocus 2 was, so demonic. You're allowing demons into your house if you watch it. And how terrible it was because it's showing spells about witches eating children and just how awful that is. Like, hey man, it's not real. You know what I mean? It's so silly.
Film. Get ready. I'm about to give my perspective. It may not sit. It may make some of you guys unhappy with me. That's just that there's always a risk of that. I'm willing to take that risk. Lord, lead your people, lead your church, God. All right, first, make sure you subscribe.
I cannot take his hat seriously. I can't take his hat. Oh my God, there's so much. Take his hat seriously when he's trying to be this big, bad man of God or just whatever. I'm not going to say that. But I can't take it seriously.
Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We make videos on, now we give commentary on culture, social issues, and faith to help you be in the world, but of the word. Also, shout out to Good Ranchers. I whipped up for my can't say that anymore. My newly mothered wife whipped up some steaks yesterday. We enjoyed those, and we already got burgers thawing in the fridge. Good Ranchers, if you guys have not tried them out, they are awesome. All right, so let's move right into today's topic, you guys. Right in with the trailer. I just pulled like a short clip from Hocus Pocus 2 trailer just to give you guys a little bit of the vibes of what's happening here, okay?
Legend has it, it's on the 16th birthday that a witch gets her powers.
Hide your kids, lock up your children because the witches are back.
I think he was getting the witches and hide your kids, hide your wife. I think he was getting those mixed up.
Very interesting. All right. How about this? Let me read, because I did not watch the film. I watched the trailer. I watched a couple of the trailers, and then I read the synopsis. So let's listen to a little bit of the synopsis to get a feeling of what this is all about. This is some of the plot. I just literally Googled Hocus Pocus 2 plot and found it on Wikipedia. It starts out, it's talking about the three witches and their kind of backstory. It says, when they go into the Forbidden Forest, they make acquaintance with Mother Witch, who gifts Winifred her magic book for her 16th birthday, but explicitly warns the sisters against casting a spell known as the Magica Maxima, something like that, which makes the user all-powerful. Mother Witch also teaches the sisters to kill other children to keep their youthfulness. Ooh. It goes on to say a little further down, Becca and Izzy, two friends, visit a magic shop, formerly the Sanderson Cottage, run by Gilbert, who gifts Becca a candle for their annual birthday ritual. Becca and Izzy light the candle and discover that it is another black flame candle. As there is a full moon and the girls are both virgins, the candle resurrects the Sanderson sisters once again. Already pretty unsettling. It goes down a little further. It says, Winifred decides they will cast the Magicae Maxima spell to eliminate Trasky and take revenge on Salem. I think Trasky's the mayor of Salem. The sisters trap Izzy and Becca in the basement and leave to hunt down Trasky, whose blood is needed to complete the spell. Okay, and then finally, the last kind of piece I have here is, man, guys, this is PG. This is a PG movie aimed at, whatever, Gen Z, kids. It's on Disney Plus. Like, if I'm a kid that's not very well supervised and I see this popping up right before Halloween, I'm probably clicking on it. The girls reunite with Cassie and manage to trap the sisters within a salt circle in Cassie's garage before Mayor Trasky returns home. The three teenagers make amends with one another, but their reunion is interrupted when the sisters escape the circle, kidnap Cassie to use her blood instead. Becca and Izzy follow them to the Forbidden Forest, where Gilbert has assembled the ingredients, and soon discover that Becca, who's one of the friends that's trying to stop the three sister witches, Becca is also a witch. Whoa. So it keeps talking about like the blood rituals.
He is a grown ass adult with a silly, silly hat, but a grown adult. Like, he has a wife, and now he has a child. And he is having this very, very immature reaction to a make-believe movie that is not even the slightest of, like, scary. Because I was thinking, since it was a newer movie, if they were going to have a little more, I don't want to say gore. That's not it, because that's not, like, but just a little more. You know what I mean? Since they were, like, killing kids and stuff. But you also have to think, it's still a Disney movie. They still want to pertain to kids, but also children probably won't, in my opinion, probably won't appreciate Hocus Pocus like the people in, my generation who grew up with the original Hocus Pocus. So how he's reacting to it is so silly and so immature, in my opinion.
Think there's any actual blood rituals that take place. I don't think they capture this girl and use her blood, but nevertheless, there's obviously like a lot of blood ritual sacrifice talk in this movie, and we're about to get to the Texas mom and what she has to say. And that's kind of one interesting part. I think the very like end of the film, not to give spoilers if you guys really care, but it's like the new friends, the friends that were trying to stop the sister witches are like practicing witchcraft, and you got Becca who's a witch, and they're so, good guys and bad guys. The witches are the bad guys. Well, not exactly, because Becca's a witch. Becca turns out to be a witch. Sorry. So yeah, there's there's a pretty good idea. Here's the movie poster. You probably saw it in the thumbnail, but whoa. That right here. Yeah, Hocus Pocus 2. So you guys have a pretty good idea without watching the film. There's some of what you're going to get. Here is some of the Texas Mom's viral warning, and then I'm about to weigh in more on it. And again, my weighing in may surprise you a little bit, honestly, if I'm just being real. But
if he's saying that it's going to surprise his audience, then, like, makes me think that I might agree with it. Like, we might agree, possibly. I don't know, because usually, I mean, his audience is very Christian-based people, and they usually agree, you know, on the same thing. So him saying that his audience may not even agree with him, it's interesting. And I hate that he's talking about the Texas mom. Alright, whatevs.
Texas mom, she made apparently a Facebook post that just picked up steam, went viral. It caused a lot of reactions. Obviously, some people are like, thank you so much for bringing this to my attention, my family's attention. I won't be showing this to my kids. But then, as you guys would expect, you got people pushing back on her, saying, chill out, making fun of her. So let's see some of what she had to say. We're just going to call her Texas Mama. What was her name? I can't even remember her name. It might show it on here. Let's see what Texas Mama has to say.
A worst case scenario is that you unleash hell. The whole movie is based on witches harvesting children for blood sacrifices. I believe whatever comes in our TV screens, there are things attached to that. I've seen for myself the things that I've watched with my eyes or heard over a TV screen, they become manifested in real life.
There's a little piece of it. I'm going to play the second piece in a second. You unleash hell. What you watch on your TV screen becomes manifest in real life. Again, I'm not going to I do not want to discredit her passion, her genuine concern, and perhaps what she's saying. She might be totally right. Let's watch the final kind of half of this, and then we'll dissect this a little more.
In real life, everybody thinks it's fake and innocent, but they could be casting any type of spell that they want to. Anything could be coming through that TV screen into your home. At the end of the day, I want people to walk away with discernment. If you're watching this, just start thinking. Start thinking for yourself, and even overthink.
Start thinking for yourself and even overthink. I saw the Archon in the live chat say, please let her name be Karen. Wow, the Archon. It's not Karen, okay? I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. It's not Karen. So, let me start with some of what I do agree with Texas Mama. Concerned Texas Mama. I mean, you guys heard the plot description I was reading. I'm listening to this and I'm like, oof, there are Christians. I guess my first thing, before I really dive into certain aspects, like, there are Christians that sit down with their kids and want to watch this film. It's kind of shocking to me. I think that you guys know that Morgan and I have said on many occasions, Christians, be vigilant, be careful when it comes to your dating relationships, protect your purity. When it comes to what you watch, what you listen to, be careful. The devil prowls around like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. That's the real deal in the spiritual realm.
I don't think the devil is coming through your TV screen via Disney. That's just me. That's just me. But I don't think he's coming through with Hocus Pocus. Which I can understand where he's coming from, because this is how I was raised too. I listen to this silliness. I wasn't even allowed to say abracadabra, like just playing. There was no playing witch. There was no playing any type of sorcery. Just like like Foursquare. Do you remember Foursquare when you were like in elementary school or middle school, and it was either 2 square or 4 square, and one of the like things where you could like win or whatever it was called like black magic. I couldn't call it that. I had to call it like black cat or something like that, because of just saying it. My mom thought it was like opening up this whole doorway, this whole portal to demonic shit. So I can understand where his mindset is, because that used to be my mindset. Obviously, I don't agree with it now, and I think it's silly. Silly. The devil is not coming through your damn TV screen via Disney.
It's very real. However, do I think that some people can become what I would deem obsessed with demons? Yes. I think some people can become obsessed with demons, and that's where I may have a guest that pops into the, my baby, get your non-pregnant butt over here. What I was saying, guys, if you're pumped to see Morgan back, her glowing face, give this video a thumbs up.
Hey guys.
I'm gonna scoot this over towards you more. I think that there is such a thing as becoming demon obsessed to the point where
I've never heard in my life being obsessed with demons or like demon obsessed. So this is new to me.
And I'm going to give a few examples where I could see what the Texas mama, where it may be taken a little too far. I'm unleashing hell in my living room. What does she mean by that? It's what I've watched is manifest, the spells coming through your.
And obviously, I forget to say this, but I want to read your commentary below too. So whatever you're thinking or whatever your opinions are, put them down below.
TV into your living room. I was actually talking to Caroline, who was a guest on the show a week and a half ago, and she was saying, I really like what this mother has to say. I think that her caution is real. I get it. I respect that. I think it's we as parents especially need to be caring for our kids and what they watch. Spells coming through the TV into your living room, unleashing hell. I think that personally is a little over the top. It feels a little over the top, and it becomes a little bit of demon obsessed. Similar to, we had someone say, "Oh, Paul, cat statue Morgan that you bring out, don't put that in your videos, because it literally, statues like that, ceramic statues could harbor demons. It could hold demons." Mm-hmm. Or, Paul, you buy Pokemon cards, you're bringing in demons to your home. Or you go to an antique store. These are just things like I'm thinking. An antique store, and you buy some old artifact. It could be bringing in demons. They could be attached. I'm kind of like, okay, Christians, I appreciate your vigor, but we can chill a little bit. Let's be obsessed with Jesus and maybe chill out a little bit on the demon obsession. Morgan. Morgan, take it away.
Well, it's interesting. Hello, everyone. It's interesting because we have said many, many times, babe, that what you watch and what you listen to and what you're reading and the people that you're hanging out with matter. And it's important to be wise about what you're taking in.
Would you say you agree 100% with Texas Mama?
I don't know if everything she said is like necessarily biblically accurate, but I think she does have wisdom in that we need to be vigilant, we need to be careful, we need to use discernment in what we're watching and what we're...
She has zero wisdom. What are you talking about? There's no wisdom in, I am not going to allow a make-believe movie to enter my home because demons might live in the made-up spells. That is the dumbest shit I've ever heard, and it is not wise. It is not wise.
We're letting our kids watch, And I think especially movies that have to do with witchcraft, to me it's like so much witchcraft, Hocus Pocusy and Harry Potter even, which some people, have arguments for Harry Potter and how good and evil, whatever.
Well, and that's what I wanted to move into.
I want to know if they have watched and or read the books of The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. Because when I was growing up, oh God, I could not watch and or read anything Harry Potter related. Absolutely not. The first time I watched it, I was 25, and I still felt guilty when I was watching it. And I was like, Bethany, you're an adult. Calm down. But I wonder if they allow themselves and give them a justification because The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe was based on Christianity. Because that's what I was taught, and that's the only reason. Well, obviously, I don't think it is now. But that was the only reason why we were able to watch The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, because it was supposedly Christian. But there's a witch in it. There's a talking lion. Like, that's not normal. It's so dumb.
Okay, someone that watches Texas Mama, someone that listens to the rundown of this movie, which, again, I'm listening to myself read that, and I'm like, what Christian would want to, in the slightest, watch this? That's just my reaction. And I would agree, this, especially the blood sacrifices.
Because people don't take it as seriously as y'all do. It is a nostalgic movie. It brings up memories. If you literally are thinking, I just gurgled, sorry. If you are really, really thinking of, oh, the spells, oh my God, they are killing children to be younger. Yeah. Sounds pretty scary. That plot could be like a horror movie. But guess what? It's not, sir. It's not a horror movie. It's a motherfucking Disney movie. It's a Disney movie. It's not scary. You don't have to think a lot about this movie because it brings up that, oh my God, I remember, I can tell I'm very red. I keep scratching. I know my ears are really, really I'm getting anxious because this is aggravating me. Any hoodles. It brings up memories of when you watched the very first one. Because it's that spooky season, or even not spooky season, but like, it's October, it's about to be Halloween, it's a great fall season, whatever the hell you want to call it. I call it spooky season. You should see the fun stuff I have on my walls. Anyway, it doesn't have to be such a spiritual, not everything has to have some deep spiritual meaning to it. You don't have to watch something and be like, oh my God, what are they doing in the background that has every spiritual thing? It's like the Illuminati. Does it exist? Does it not? Good God. Who knows? But people who are looking in music videos, they're like, oh my God, it's the triangle. Instead, it's just a music video. Like, just watch the music video. This is the same shit. Just watch the movie, have a fun time, and move on with your life. Just because you watch this movie literally does not mean anything. Oh my God. I'm red, huh? I can't see. I bet I am.
And with the youths, I mean, these look like they're 16-year-old girls. It's like,
disgusting.
Run. But then I think to myself, and I stand by that. I'm just saying I stand by that. Okay, so many of you on here are going to say, Paul, why would you even second guess anything? It's all completely fair enough. What about Harry Potter? And Morgan just said, personally,
I'm sure that those people would say, Harry Potter's terrible.
Totally fine. I respect that. About 2 years ago, I was watching one of the Harry Potter movies, and I got a check in my spirit, what I would consider just conviction of like what is right and wrong, the discernment. I decided I'm actually going to distance myself from Harry Potter. I'm no longer feeling okay to just sit down and watch it for entertainment. But let's go a step further. What about Lord of the Rings and Narnia? Lord of the Rings, which I really like, Gandalf's a wizard, and he's technically a good wizard, which kind of blurs the lines even more.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking about when I taught at the Latin school, I used to teach at a classical education school. We read 2 books that I loved, both by the same author, Robin Hood and King Arthur's Knights, the Round Table. They both had at least one story with a witch in there. What do we do with that? Do we not read those works of literature? Morgan?
I don't know.
Talk to us. What do you guys
Number 1, gross. Don't do that. You sound like you sound like a child. Gross. I couldn't beforehand. But even so, I will not be able to take things seriously that come out of her mouth because she just did that. Witches, as silly it is like to say, but witches are a part of history. They go back, good God, Salem witch trials, witches will go back in many, many stories of history. King Arthur, he was saying, of course there's going to be a sorcerer. In any older story, I believe that there will be some type of sorcerer, witch, whatever, witch doctor, whatever, in the story. Doesn't mean you have to not read any of that. Like, what are you going to do if your kid's in school and a part of what he's learning is, I don't want to say like the history of witches because that's stupid. That's not what I'm saying. But like, what if they grazed over a part of history that did have a significant amount of witches in it? Salem witch trial. You know what I'm saying? So are you going to just, nope, he can't do that. Jesus. It is so messed up. So when do you draw that line? I think that's where he's getting at. Where do you draw that line in saying this is okay, but this is not okay? Obviously for me, and I'm sure for you, watch whatever the hell you want and don't take things so seriously. But in this case, I think that they are not justifying to try and watch something, but they're just going to feel bad with any type of sorcery, any witch, anything that comes up in a movie, comes up in a TV show, whatever. Like, they're not going to allow themselves because they think that something more spiritual is happening, which in reality, I don't think it is.
comment below. You see what I'm saying? Star Wars, Marvel, Encanto. You guys are, so many people get so passionate about no to this. Encanto is full of magic.
You're pretty passionate right now, boy.
Encanto is
Take
full
a
of magic.
deep breath.
And when I did a poll on Instagram, the majority were cool with Encanto.
Well, anywho.
What do you think?
I think that the point is to just have discernment. There are levels, there are movies, there are books, there are stories, and some are worse than others. Some are more dangerous than others. Some you're gonna feel more convicted about one movie than you are about another movie, and someone else will feel more convicted about both of those movies. So it's really a lot of discernment and just like a desire to protect your heart, to protect your child's heart and spirit, and to just not mess around with certain things. Like, literally, as you were reading that description of the movie, I was just like, this is really dark and disgusting, this premise of the virgins and the child sacrifice. Like, what in the heck?
I agree.
So I think that Texas mama had every right to be like, are you insane for letting your kids watch this? And I think she has a point in, like, there are true, genuine witches in this world, and like the spells that they're using in movies are real spells.
Maybe sometimes, but I don't want to just be like
not every, but yeah, a lot of witch movies, the spells that they're casting in the movies are legit spells.
I believe that.
And so, do I think that watching a movie,
you can believe whatever you want, it doesn't make that true, and it doesn't make that fact. Is it factual that on TV shows, if there are witches, those are actually spells? Can you, I don't know, get their script and like compare it to an actual spell? Like, how do you know that? How do you know that? Just because you believe it doesn't mean it's fact.
With a spell that's cast is all of a sudden going to send a demon into your house and sit on your shoulder? No, but I do think that what you watch is very important, and your eyes are the doors to your spirit in a lot of ways. And so just being wise of what you're taking in and recognizing, are you struggling with nightmares? Are you struggling with depression, with anxiety, with fear? Because if you are, ask yourself, what am I watching? What am I taking in regularly? So there is wisdom.
I do agree with that little baby snippet of what she said. Yes. I have found myself, because I love true crime. I don't want to say like scary movies, but just, Halloween fun movies. Especially true crime though. So if there are times where I have severe anxiety over some things, I have to kind of reel that in, and start watching or start watching something different and or not watch really anything at all. So that baby bit of what she said, I believe is truth.
I would completely agree. What I just kind of desire and what I see from some Christians, again, like, be vigilant and go with your convictions. Seriously. What I do see is I feel like some Christians become just like almost really nervous that, oh my goodness, I'm letting in a demon here. I'm bringing in this cat statue. Could there be a demon? This picture, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I think you can chill out a little bit. If you are intentionally looking to invite that stuff, seeking out the demonic realm, then be fearful, because I think the demonic realm would respond to that. But again, I even would go so far.
And you know what? I agree with that too. Not so much the agreement on demonic realm, because I'm still deconstructing from the heaven and hell belief. That's still, a work in me that I'm doing, because there's a part of me that's like, well, there has to be some like good or evil, you know what I mean? So I do really think, I was actually talking to my husband about this the other day, that there's good and evil, but it's like, and I don't even want to say like energy, because I think that's true too, but it's not like the new age kind of energy that we've been hearing about. But what I'm talking about is just you can feel, I don't know that's energy, but like just this sense of good and evil. And I do believe, like he just said, if you are seeking out something to happen, or you are seeking out something to see or something, whatever, like, don't be surprised if it does happen. I completely agree with him, but I don't think anything evil is going to happen if you do bring in, things like that. If you're watching a show, it's not like in my household. Oh my God, listen to this. I just remembered this. So my dad was in Iraq for 5 years, all throughout my high school, the whole time I was in high school, and then 1 year in college, because he was military police. So he was in Iraq during the war, all that. So he would when he would come visit, he would bring back just different movies, and then, he'd go back, whatever, and he wouldn't take them. So my mom told me one day to take all of his movies that had anything to do with vampires, because I guess my dad was on like a vampire streak or something. It was weird. But they were like older vampire movies, right? So like even before Blade. And she told me that I had to throw away every single movie that had a vampire on it. And that's what I had to do, because in her mindset and her belief, if we were watching those movies, that was just a doorway for demons to come in. But that's not how it works. I do agree with Paul on this, in that you have to be purposely seeking something out for something like that to happen. I also believe that.
Bring up Halloween. We're 2 weeks from Halloween. And I was talking to Caroline about this as well. There are some people that are so passionately convicted, and they're thinking, no, just demonic, no part in it whatsoever. I would say, fair enough. Go with your convictions. And we haven't even talked extensively what it's going to be like with Luca. I just know my parents were pretty stinking vigilant with us. We were homeschooled. We were protected. And yet we were still out there dressed up as cowboys and, frogs, getting candy. We weren't allowed to say trick or treat. We were allowed to get candy. So my point there is, I don't think we need to always create the worst case scenarios and then decide this is how it has to be for everyone else. Because maybe we'll get candy with Luca, and maybe our consciences will be okay with that. And fair enough. And fair enough if you guys, again, don't want to, but there is a lot of gray area in regards to a lot of things. The person that says, I do not want magic, I want nothing to do with Harry Potter, but then they're okay with Encanto. I agree with what you were saying. I do think we have to go up our convictions in many things. I don't personally see how many Christians could justify the nasty, occultist saturation that it sounds like this PG film has, especially being directed at kids. But I do see how a kid could dress up as a cowboy and get candy. That's my personal thoughts.
Very interesting. As far as Halloween goes, I don't like the idea. I don't like the idea of walking around neighborhoods and there being like scary decorations. Like, I would want to avoid those houses at all costs, because I just think that it's disturbing. Why are we celebrating death? This is creepy. Why do you have a skeleton out in your yard pretending to mow the lawn? I don't think it's funny. It's just weird. And I wouldn't want Luca going up to that house.
So would you feel...
So maybe a trunk or treat at a church.
At a church. Would you feel okay? I mean, do you feel passionate enough about that side, that argument, that you would say, yes, I don't think any Christians should take part in any facet of Halloween?
I mean...
And I'm simply opening up. You can say that if you want. Mm-hmm. It sounds like maybe that is where you stand.
Just go to your church's trunk or treat.
Okay, so if we're gonna go to celebrate Halloween at a trunk or treat, are you just going to celebrate Christmas at your church? Are you just going to celebrate, which usually just Easter at your church, but sometimes people do gifts on Easter. I always thought that was strange. Or are you going to do little, try to find the Easter egg hunt on Easter, but just at your church? Or are you going to do it with your family too? Because I am telling you, the holidays, this is going to be a different video. I have already made up my mind. The holidays that Christians do not like because they're rooted in paganism and they are Satanists and whatever, and they're just evil. It is mind-boggling to me that they can say that, yet still celebrate the different holidays that are also and or that are just rooted in paganism and rooted in secular beliefs. But the Catholic Church years ago flipped it to now it's a Christian holiday, which it was not a Christian holiday to begin with. So what she is saying is so ignorant and so dumb, and it makes her look, in my opinion, it makes her look not knowledgeable, because there are many holidays that Christians do celebrate. I wasn't saying many, I guess, but there are holidays that Christians celebrate that are 100% rooted in evil rituals, in paganism. And now she can only take her child to a trunk or treat at her church because it's Halloween. Ew, gross. What do you do for Christmas? What do you do for Christmas?
Like, if my kid's a teenager, I'm gonna, whatever, he can go knock on doors. Although teenagers shouldn't be trick-or-treating, so scratch that. No, you're not trick-or-treating if you're a teenager.
I think there could absolutely be wisdom in not taking part in Halloween at all, not watching any movies with any magic. Sometimes I'm kind of like, are we just too lax? And we should be, pulling away from even Encanto, even Lord of the Rings. It's kind of like that could be a conversation worth having. Have Christians gotten too lax? Mm-hmm. But right now, currently, I feel okay with choosing what I watch with wisdom and being cautious, looking at Parents' Guide, but still watching and taking part in some things. And so I just don't, I would like to see Christians be a little slower to make blanket statements that this is completely off, unless according to scripture, it is completely off. And to the pure, all things are pure. And so you might have somebody who goes out with their kids and gets candy wearing a cat costume, and in their conscience, they're completely okay. They're completely okay before God. And to them, it's not inviting demons into their home. All right. Fair enough. Morgan, are we still friends?
Time for me to take a nap.
You overexerted yourself. That's 12 minutes. No, Morgan, you guys is a champ. Morgan, thank you for being here. Guys, seriously, comment below. I opened the dialogue, and that's where I'm at right now. I was praying earlier today, like, Lord, at 33 years old, as I'm getting older, and I'm hopefully growing in my faith walk, I believe I am, but there is, different things that you learn as you get older, as you're in the Word, you read things, and you dive deeper, you see certain things differently. My desire is that I would just be a godly man. So even if maybe I spoke something that you're just kind of like, I don't agree with that, I'm open to having dialogue and conversation. Sounds like Morgan and I are pretty close to the same page, but maybe not 100%. And we're going to have to talk about putting Luca in a little elf costume to go get candy. We might have to talk about that.
Oh my goodness.
In years to come. Guys, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Let me know what you think down in the comments below now that that freaking dumpster fire of a video is over. This video is going to be over. Make sure to like and subscribe if you would like to. And always remember that you are a fierce and powerful motherfucking woman. And I appreciate you so, so much. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.